Good morning, you guys. It's about 7:30, just under 30 degrees this morning, so not terrible. However, it was like 3 days ago that it was like 75 in the middle of the day, but that's Texas weather. A few days ago, we went and rented a cold planer for Cody's skid steer to rough up the concrete, or he calls it milling the concrete. Whatever it is it basically just adds grooving to the concrete so the cows have more traction, so they're not slipping in the concrete. And that's what we're doing today. It is cold, it is windy, it is early, but it's sunny at least. This is Maggie. She's old. Right now we're just kicking the cows out of this lane because we're gonna get the cold planer in here. Okay, so we got the cows kicked out, we got the lane scraped through. We do not have a flush system in this set of pins right here. So the cleaning method for this is a small tractor with a big rubber tire on the back, and it comes in and we just lay it down and scrape. But this is what we're working with. These grooves are in here. After time, they aren't as deep, so cows don't get as much gripping on it. So again, take those concrete teeth, basically just rough up the concrete. So the most important part is we don't want to get too deep in. We just want to scratch the surface. So what I'm looking for is when Cody goes in, I'm going to look at and let him know whether he needs to go a little bit deeper or... So yeah, it brought up a lot of shit, so that's not all concrete. Like I said, we don't want to go too deep. We don't want to tear up the concrete. We just want enough.
You're probably gonna have to like watch behind me after I make and see what it does.
To see the line like after you go through.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I mean, we're just wanting to scratch the surface.
That's it.
That's, I mean, for right there. Looking at the old piece, this piece, and then the piece you just did, I mean, it's scratching the surface. I don't think we should do any deeper.
Oh, and keep in mind too, we have to leave the grooves, of course.
No, I can feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the layer of shit, once the layer of shit gets over it, it is going to deplete it a little bit. But
I told Chris, me and Chris was sitting there talking, I said, you know what you need back here? I said, a sweeper.
now the first 5 seconds, the cows don't like it. Obviously the loud sound. However, it doesn't take long for them to adjust and realize it's not that. Since the planer is the size that it is, he's going to go make this row, make an outside row, and then he's going to come through in the middle. So technically, Cody is fully capable of doing this. It's more or less you need someone to visually look at it, because depending on the speed he goes and the depth he goes, it'll eat too much of the concrete. So if he keeps it at a constant pace and the right depth, then that's what we're looking for. Well, you know how in the back of pen 7, it's, you know, we don't have a flush system, so the shit kind of gets in the grooves anyways.
Sure.
Cody just did one line, and I can notice it. If I take my boot across it, you can feel in the grooves of it. But I'm also curious if it's because he's also just cleaned some shit out of the grooves. I guess what I'm saying, I'm just making you aware of it. You don't want a drastic change. You want enough to where it's... Yes, no, you can see them. They're still nice. You're just wanting to rough up the top of it so there's still more grip.
Yeah, I've been looking at making the grooves shorter or shallower, just rough it up.
Okay, well, so then we're just going to go off our judgment. But like I said, if you take your foot across, you can still feel what he just did the top layer of, but we'd rather not go too deep. All right, I just wanted to go over that, make sure that you are aware of all of that.
I think I am.
I know you are. I just, if I say it, then you can't come back and say, damn it, Pee-wee. All right, then I'll call you after a while.
All right.
Love you, bye. Right now, Cody's going to take the skid steer out at the end of the pin where we entered. This actual lane right here connects 2 pins. So we have a gate in the middle of this pin that needs to be reconnected, and then we'll let the girls that are outside in the corrals come back in to eat. Skid steer out, gate set up, girls back in. And then we will move to our other pin, which is pin 7, which is on the other side of the dairy, and start that pin. We did this probably 2 or 3 years ago, but we did it in those free stalls over here. And those free stalls with those tanks right there have the flush system that I've shown before. And so it really helps to get in and clean the shit out of the grooves a lot better. To where these outside barns that we're doing, we don't have the flush system and we just use a big rubber tire that scrapes through. So the shit still gets embedded. So it's not gonna be as good as the flush system. However, you know, maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll get something in here that's a flush system, or Cody says a sweeper, but you gotta work with what you got. Come on, Dad, spare some more money on the dairy. Just kidding. So this is one of our other outside pens. We're just gonna go ahead and kick the girls out. Come on, mamas. Okay, so one of the boys was supposed to scrape this morning, meaning getting all this extra shit out of here. So it'd be better on grooving the concrete. However, they may have, and it doesn't take long for cows to fill it up. So that being said, I'm gonna go get the tractor, scrape the extra shit out of here, that way we can get going. Okay, so we got the lane scraped. See, the grooves in here are still really good, but if we had a flush system to flush out with the water, it'd be a lot better. Okay, so Cody just finished this lane, so now we're gonna open the 3 sets of middle gates and let the cows back in so they can eat. Boss just called, aka my father, and he thinks since we have the cold planer already rented, why not go ahead and go scratch over the surface of the pins that we did in the past. And like I said, it was probably 2 or 3 years ago, but why not go ahead and add some more to that. We're gonna do a little bit lighter than what we've been doing because, again, we've already done these 2 pins. However, it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and scratch over them again. So that is what we are gonna go ahead and do. When we're using this cold planer, we need the cows out of the way. Pin 1 is being brought up for the 2nd milking shift of the day. So while they go up to get milked, Cody and I are gonna come in here and knock out the pins. By the time we finish that, they'll be bringing up pin 2 to be milked. We'll go in and knock that one out as well. This is pin 1, and this is the pin we've done in the past. As you can tell, we've scratched through it, but I think we're gonna go back over and scratch again on the top. Okay, so this is the 2nd layer of grooving, which we didn't want to do too much because it's already been done before, but since we had the cold planer rented, we went ahead and just added some more. Just a scratch of the top layer. Pin 1 done. Now we have pin 2. Now we are bringing pin 2 up to the milk barn to get milked. Gonna clean their pen and then get in with the cold planer and tear up some more concrete. Up! Up! Alright, pin 2 is up in the milking barn. Lanes are clean, flush, and now we are on our last pin. Planer is washed off, skid steer is washed off. We are leaving the washing bay and heading back up to the barn to load the planer. And I think we're gonna make the trip today. It's about an hour away, but we're gonna go ahead and drop it off because we got new shit to do tomorrow.